right, good morning. It is Wednesday, January the 13th, 2016. It's flippin' cold outside. It is so cold out there right now. Today's actually going to be warmer than the last couple of days. We're supposed to hit a high of 20. I don't do well in the cold. So, last week I posted the video, and I posted on crystal skulls, and I got some commentary back, and the commentary that I got back was show more crystals, which is good. I want that. I want that kind of commentary. Let me know what it is that you want to see specifically, and I will try and do it. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk a little bit about crystal wands, okay? Now, crystal wands can come in many different forms. They're used for a variety of purposes. Sometimes people buy crystal wands or find crystal wands because they're just attractive. They just like that particular crystal. Sometimes people get them for the specific purpose of the crystal. But basically crystal wands are there to manipulate energy, to move energy. We use crystal wands to focus energies and to direct energies to exactly where we want them to go. Now this can be in energy healing. This could be healing work. This could be meditative work. This could be other types of magic if you are a practitioner of magic. So wands kind of have a lot of different purposes. So I thought what I would do today is I'd show you a few different kinds of wands and a couple of quick examples of what you can do with them. Okay? So, I don't know how this is going to work because I am my own cameraman. I have on this table here a few different wands. I'm going to just show them to you real quick. So this one here, this is a banded carnelian. So this is like an agate. Alright. It's real pretty. It's not very big. It's probably about 3.5 inches. That's a natural stone, but it's definitely a polished piece. It's been polished into a wand. This is a blue quartz. This is not a necessarily natural stone. It is, quartz is natural, but it's been dyed. Okay? It's about 4 inches. This is a double-ended or terminated, if you want to use that term, labradorite wand. This is my own personal one. Okay? And that's a 6-sided wand. This one here that never comes out of the package because it's copper is a copper wand. Okay. And it's got a nice blunt rounded end on it on both sides. It's heavy. It's a very heavy wand. It's an expensive wand because it's solid copper. This is about 5 inches long. Okay. And then you can kind of get into some more of the fancier things. Like this is a selenite. And as you can kind of see, it has a spiral on it. It's been carved into a bit of a spiral. It's got a twist. Okay. This one also has a twist, but there's 7 different crystals on it to represent the different chakras. All the way from the red jasper is the root, all the way up to amethyst for the crown. This is another chakra one, but on a smaller scale. So you can see it has quartz on the top and the bottom, and then it has your 7 chakras. These are tiny, tiny, tiny little wands, little guys. These are imitation Vogel cuts. There's 2 of them here, that's why I keep saying these. A Vogel cut is a laser cut of 12 to 20 some odd sides, but every side is perfect. You can get those for a lot of money. You can get the imitations for a little bit cheaper, but you don't get absolute perfection. Like, if I could get you an appropriate close-up, you could see a little bit of a waver in the bottom. But these are lovely. I like to have the matched pair, and I'll explain that in a little bit. This is a lepidolite mica. It's real thin, but it's real pretty purple. And then you can go naturally. Of course, most people think of like quartz point, and that is a completely natural quartz point. You can also use selenite. And here's a nice fat selenite wand. Isn't that a beauty? I just got a whole stock of selenite in. That's all selenite wands of different sizes. They're $1 a piece. Okay, so what do we do with these fabulous things? We've got wands, now what? Well, I thought I would have my little assistant Amber here. For those of you who haven't met Amber yet, this is Amber. This is our shop bear. Her name is Amber Brown Bear. I bought Amber from Build-A-Bear and made her at Build-A-Bear right before I opened the shop a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago now. I bought Amber as a child distractor, because when you've got herbs and little rocks and things like that on the shelves and people bring in their children, sometimes little hands get awfully curious, and I would hate to have families feel bad because something might get broken. So I brought Amber in to kind of be a little child distractor. But Amber's kind of taken on a life of her own. Amber gets out and she travels and she meets people and she has sessions with people. Like we did an event last December, and Amber actually got she got an acupressure treatment. She got a chiropractic treatment. She got to learn about essential oils. She even got a reading. So Amber kind of has a little life of her own. She has all these little outfits and she changes out, and she posts every week on my website on Facebook. So I thought it would be appropriate to bring Amber in on the video and use her as kind of a body example of what you can do with wands. So let me get some of these guys out of the way here. And I'm going to use the big chakra wand just because it's so big. You should be able to see it pretty well. Okay, so when you're doing healing work with wands and you want to work on an actual physical person, what you're going to be doing, sorry Amber, I'm going to lay Amber down here. What you're going to be doing with that person typically is you're going to be working either over the body part that has the problem or over specific chakras. So let's just say we're going to do a little chakra balancing with Amber, okay? And we're going to use the chakra wand. So we're going to assume that we've already established our session, we've already established a rapport, we already have an energy flow going. We're not just going into this cold, okay? That's all discussion for another video. But let's just balance Amber's little chakras. So remember, our root chakra is at the base. So we're going to come in here and we're going to do a little bit of a clockwise spin and just see how her little chakras are doing. Okay? And what you're doing with this is you're helping to send positive energy to the chakras. We're going to move to her sacral. You're sending positive energy to her chakras. It's very directed energy. Okay? You notice that I'm pointing down at her. I'm not doing this because how uncomfortable would that be? So you want to treat your energy the same way you'd want to treat your body. And I wouldn't want this to be doing this on me. That would hurt. I would want it to go off to the side. So I'm doing that with her chakras too. Yes, she's a bear. I get it. I had a 4-year-old say to me one time, "You do know she's not real, right?" She's very real. So you're directing positive energy both with the wand and with the clockwise turn, okay? For some of you, your particular practice may require a counterclockwise turn. That's fine. Follow your practice, follow your instinct. Okay? Now we're doing her heart. We did her solar already. We're going to move up to her throat. We're going to move to her third eye, and then her crown. Okay? Now if you find that you're doing this and something doesn't feel quite right, then you would use other techniques like maybe bringing some water into the mix or an essential oil or a particular crystal. But just for the sake of using wands, this is what we would do to move that energy. Now with these little paired wands like this one, okay, like this set, what you can also do is if you have an area of the body that's giving you particular trouble. So let's say her little foot is giving her trouble, okay? You want to take your two wands and make them go the same direction, okay? Now the way you want them to work, if I can do this properly for the camera. So your left hand is receptive, your right hand is aggressive, it's movement. So you want to receive good energy in, so send the point towards your palm, and you want to send the bad energy out, or the negative energy out. So you're going to send the moving point out, and you will go alongside of her like this, or you can do it like this. I've actually seen people take the crystals like this and actually run them as though the crystal's going through the whole foot, the whole wand, and you can do. What you're doing is you're sending in positive, you're funneling out the negative. You're focusing in positive, focusing out negative. Now, when you do this, again, this is presuming that you've set a space, that you've set an intention, but by and large, the universe, the earth, will take whatever energy is coming out of there and will make it be what it needs to be. Okay? That isn't to say don't do protective work or cast circle or create sacred space or do appropriate like psychic house cleaning. But you're not just dirtying up the universe, okay? The universe can handle what little bit comes out of us, all right? We as individuals do not contain so much negative, dirty energy that we're going to ruin the universe or the environment, okay? But do some house cleaning anyway. You know, when you get done, do some smudging, do some clearing of your space, do sprays or some noise work if you need to, noise energy. Like I've seen people click rocks together, or they do bells or chimes or something of that effect. So those are a couple of ways that you can do wands with a body, with a person. But you can also do it in distance work. And when you do it in distance work, you can do that with photos. And you could do this with like photos of houses or photos of locations or animals or people. I can do distance work with people with a little page that's got the chakras represented. So I know that if I'm working with somebody, what I would do is I would write their name up here. I would write down what it is that they're looking for. I'd usually write like the date and maybe the time. And then you go through and you do the same thing. So you work on the chakra. You move up to the next one. Okay? And you're just sending healing energy. You're just sending positive healing energy. So that's kind of roughly how wands work, okay? Now, everyone will use theirs a little bit differently. So, like I said last week, I have a challenge for everyone, and that's the 50 hours for everyone else, the 100 hours for me of community service. Okay? I've not logged any hours yet. I'm getting there. The other thing I'm doing is I'm doing a weekly charity. This week, the charity that I would like to talk just a brief minute about is called the River Haven Shelter, and that's in Portage, Wisconsin. Now, you can find them on Facebook at River Haven Shelter, Portage, Wisconsin. And this is a homeless shelter in Portage. Portage isn't a real big town, so for them to have a shelter is a really good thing. I know that there are several people in need in Portage. Portage kind of, I think, has a lower income people in it for the most part. That's kind of the impression that I get. Don't quote me on that. People from Portage, don't kill me if that's wrong. But I'd like to recommend them. I'm also going to be using River Haven Shelter as my charity I think it's next month. I'm going to be doing a live class here in the shop called What is Paganism? And whenever I present that class, I do it as a spiritual outreach, so I don't charge a fee, but I do keep a donation bowl. And the donation bowl, every time I do the class, goes to a different charity. And this time when I do it, it's going to be going to River Haven Shelter. So any income that I make from that class will be directly donated to the River Haven Shelter. I've already called them and contacted them about that, and they were cool with that. So give them a look, see if you can help them out. I'm sure if you're in the area, I'm sure they'll take items of donation, but contact them first and make sure before you just go drop bags of clothes on their doorstep. So anyway, I hope this kind of helped you a little bit today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that kind of scratched the itch a little bit for the crystals. We'll do more crystals next week. There's a whole table of them right over there that we'll look at. I hope you have a great week. Stay warm. Have a wonderful weekend. Amber says bye. Bye. And we'll see you next week.